Hi, I wanted to touch on some recent news articles, just affirming what the Lord's already shown me about the coming California earthquake, and not to the northwest coast, but down here in the southern area of California to Los Angeles area. So the news articles lately have been confirming what the Lord showed me and many other Christians out there in the last few years. Back in 2013, when I first started my YouTube account here, this was one of the first videos I made, was Great California Earthquake Coming, and it's on my playlists. If you click on my my account here and you go to playlists, I'll have California Earthquake playlist, and there's multiple videos and confirmations on there. And then recently, back in March of this year, the Lord gave me a follow-up dream and interpretation warning me of when that large Los Angeles quake is going to happen. He basically told me that we would have a 3-day warning once there's a 4.5, not 4.6, not 4.0, but a 4.5 quake that hits the Los Angeles area, and not up in Northern California or near Mexico or anywhere, but within Los Angeles County. When there's a 4.5 quake that hits Los Angeles, then 3 days later there's going to be the large one that he's told me to prepare for. Okay, and again, I'm like only about 65 miles northeast of Los Angeles, so it may not impact me as much as it will downtown Los Angeles, but the effects of it will, especially if it knocks out power in the area. So for the past like 3.5 years, I've been preparing for this and many other things that the Lord's warned me about. Let's go ahead and look at some recent news articles concerning this very thing. Now remember, this was March 19th that the Lord gave me this dream, and I posted it here on CBS Los Angeles, Channel 2, KCAL 9. This article is written from, this is October 2015, but NASA gives 99% probability of 5.0 earthquake in LA. I'm trying to not let the video run because it's going to start going over what I'm talking about. Anyways, JPL experts predict a possible 5.0 magnitude quake in Los Angeles, but say it very well could be stronger. Okay. There was a 4.0 or 4.3 in La Habra near LA that year, about a year ago. But it says since that happened, here's what I was reading. It relieved some of the stress, and it actually shook some of the upper sediments in the LA basin and moved those a little bit more. However, according to Dr. Donnellan, those strains remain with enough power to produce an even larger quake in the same epicenter in LA, La Habra. So there's enough energy stored to produce about a magnitude 6.1 to 6.3 earthquake. Now the Lord never told me. Anyways, let me go on. Dr. Donnellan and her team then proceeded to measure the probability of a similar quake for the entire 60-mile radius of the LA area. The results produced a shocking 99% chance of a 5.0 or greater in the Los Angeles area within 3 years. So this was from October 15. That would be before October 2018. So what I was going to say was the Lord didn't tell me how strong it would be, but he did say that here where I live, about an hour and 25 minutes away from LA, that my legs would feel like jello and it would be hard to stand. And that was a word from the Lord. So it's obviously going to be very strong. Or there could be aftershocks or pre-shocks near where I live because I'm close to the San Andreas Fault. And it says we all need to be prepared. Okay, so it's just common sense to prepare if you live here. And the Lord's warned me and other Christians as well that this is coming. And so it says there's the accepted random chance of a magnitude 5 or greater in this area in 3 years is 85%. So now let's see what they say recently. This was from May, after my March warning dream, about 3-day warning, May 5th, 2016. This is from CBS News as well. Southern SoCal locked, loaded, ready to roll into massive quake. So it says, leading experts say California's largest and most dangerous fault, the San Andreas, is long overdue for a massive earthquake. The warning for Southern California came during the National Earthquake Conference in Long Beach. Locked, loaded, and ready to roll is how scientists describe the San Andreas. Let's see. Bethian and other experts at the conference say that the San Andreas hasn't relieved stress building up for more than a century, making it long overdue for a massive quake as strong as a magnitude 8.0. If it's a long time since you've had an earthquake on a fault, the more pressure has built up. And when you release that pressure, you have a larger quake. So let's see. It says, go on, see. More than 2 decades later, are LA area residents ready for something that could be a lot stronger? We have water stored away in the garage, always, and canned food is always ready to go, but there's always room for more, says Robert Rojas, who has prepared for a quake. I hide under my table with my family and pray no one gets hurt. The last major shaker to strike the southern San Andreas was in 1857. That was a magnitude 7.9. Perhaps that's why scientists say it's been way too quiet since then. Now this is from just a few days ago, September 7th. This is all over the news now. Breaking, California government insider leaks major earthquake in California within next 60 days. So they're saying September, October, November. By November, they're expecting a large Southern California earthquake. And so I found that interesting because when I had this dream about a 4.5 hitting LA, and then 3 days later the large one was going to be coming, and I'll leave a link to this. My interpretation was, because we were on the 6th floor of the building and the building had 9 stories, that was representing the days, and that this 4.5 would happen, and 3 days later the large one would happen. Also, I believe that it meant the 6th of the month, followed by the large one happening on the 9th of the month. Whether it's October or November, whichever month, I believe it'll be 3 days apart, and it could possibly be the 6th and 9th day of the month that these occur. So that was interesting because I had a thought that they were going to be soon, because the Lord was giving me that 3-day warning, and a lot of people have prayed for some kind of a warning so that they were prepared, you know, even if it's at the last moment. But I would suggest that you prepare ASAP in case it is coming up before the end of the year. Another thing is one of my recent videos that I shared about Jeremiah, the Lord gave me the word in 3 months, and there were a lot of things that happened in the dream before he gave me that word. So I think there's many things that are going to befall before November or by November this year. But when I prayed and asked about what exactly was going to happen in 3 months, he showed me an explosion, and it looked like a nuclear explosion. I felt that that's what it was. So some kind of an attack. But again, he also gave me the word EMP, standing for there's going to be a large earthquake to California, for the E, a meteor, and then power going out. And either, all 3 of those could cause the power to go out if it occurred in your area. And even a nuclear blast, even if it's high up in the atmosphere, can cause the power grid to go out. So pray about these things and seek the Lord for what He would have you do to prepare. And I just recommend that you guys pray, be in the Word, pray for Him to lead and guide you, and pray for direction and what He would have you to do. So this one says, from September 7th, urgent California government insider. We are told of an impending quake in California. Scientists expect it within 60 days, a large quake. Southern end of San Andreas Fault. A scientist named Tom Jordan is expecting something big. New data came up Friday night and everyone is on high alert. Only government folks are getting this, not the public. They seem certain and they expect a 7.1 or bigger, which could be deadly, and they will be doing phantom drills on this within weeks. What do you think? Is California about to get the big bang? Let us know in the comment section below. And then Victoris Liberatus has this, the same article. This came out September 5th. We are being told of an impending quake in California from a government insider, Tom Jordan, I'm assuming. Scientists expect it within 60 days. A large quake, southern end of the San Andreas Fault. A scientist named Tom Jordan is expecting something big. New data came up Friday night and everyone is on high alert. Only government folks are getting this, not the public. They seem certain and they expect a 7.1 or bigger, which could be deadly. They will be doing phantom drills, so it's the same thing. So I'll leave links to these. However, I just ask that you would seek the Lord on this yourself, not to be in fear, but just to be wise. And if we see things coming, especially if the Lord's warned us of these things and now scientists are saying the same thing, praise the Lord, He gave us this 3-day warning. If you see in the news that a 4.5 hit LA, please just don't be in Southern California area 3 days later. Try to go, try to go east, past over and away from the San Andreas, because it lies between Los Angeles and Mojave. But try to go further east than Mojave or northeast, and even if it's just for that third day after the 4.5. That's what I'm going to do. I believe He gave me this as a to get it out there, to let everybody know, and to save those that would listen. So I'm going to share in another video, hopefully today, about all we do have is hope, and how the Lord's shown me that in a couple dreams in the last week. But even when things turn to chaos and there's destruction and mayhem around us, the Lord is always going to be with us, there to protect us and to guide us. So trust and rely on Him, and He will be with you. God bless.